Hello everybody, welcome to Planet FPL Deadline stream for Game Week 29 and it's live. Hope you're well. We're just under an hour till the blank Game Week 29 deadline. Only 4 fixtures in this game week. Fulham against Leeds, Brighton against Newcastle, West Ham against Arsenal and Aston Villa against Tottenham. You can see my predictions for the 3 games on the left hand side of the screen. In the top right hand corner of the screen you will see my lineup for the game week, which is what I would describe as 9 plus 1. The plus 1 being Heung-min Son. On Heung-min Son, my impression is that Jose Mourinho is such a desperate fucking pillock that if Heung-min Son is around 70% fit, he will play. I suspect, however, having gone off with a hamstring injury last week, that he's probably not quite that percentage of fitness. I'd say he's probably nearer 50% and it's probably not worth the risk, but he could play. So I'm lined up this week as Areola in goal, back 3 of Soufal, Konsa and Stuart Dallas has been bought as one of 2 free transfers. The other is Rafinha. I also have Souček, Ademola Lookman and Sonny. Up front, Ollie Watkins, vice captain and captain Harry Kane. Kane's my captain purely because of effective ownership potential and quite frankly he's the most explosive player I have in my squad. He's the only premium asset I have. As much as I go on about Tottenham and how bad we are, I don't doubt Harry and his ability. Some stats going around about his lack of away goals recently. Listen, Harry historically scores as many goals away from home as he does at home, so no concerns there. Ollie Watkins vice, I think if I was to go for a punt captaincy this week, that's where I'd have my money. Ollie Watkins, you'll see below the screenshot of my team, my top 10 captaincy picks in order. You will see a few players on there who are extremely doubtful. Heung-min Son and Jack Grealish, to name 2. Patrick Bamford, I think we can be confident, will play. But in the case of Son, Grealish, I'd look at it and go, well, if they play, they're very capable in that fixture on Sunday, which I think is probably going to be the highest scoring fixture of the 4 games this game week. And therefore, what's the harm in sticking the armband on them? As long as your vice captain is definitely going to play, you're good to go. Benching dilemmas, only the 3 pages this week. Because let's be honest, how many of us have actually got benching dilemmas this week? Pages 1 and 2 have a few players on there. Probably more appropriate for people is page 3. We'll show you some goalkeeper options because there may be a few that have obviously fallen with 2 goalkeepers for the game week. So benching dilemmas page 3 for goalkeeper choices for the week. Before submitting questions, guys, as per the pin tweet, please do have a look at the graphics. You may well find that the answer to your question is on the screen. If you've just realised that it is, please do the courtesy of deleting your question. That would be amazing so we can get through as many different possibilities for the questioners as possible. Right. Let's do this, guys. This will be fast-paced, far more fast-paced than my Ask James stream. Let's get into the questions. Edwin Guan. Hey, James. Hope to see Suj in the chat today. You won't see Suj because Suj is under strict instruction to stay away from the chat. So if you do happen to see Suj in the chat today, it's an imposter and not really Suj. And if anybody thinks of getting clever about it, please don't. You will literally be immediately muted permanently from the chat. It's not worth the gamble, kids. Benny Blanco says, hi, James. I've got 9 players for the game week, no wildcard. Is it worth moving Gundogan or Salah to Lingard for free? If so, which one? Thanks, mate. So the 2 players I sold were Ben Mee and Mo Salah. Values come into the thinking a little bit. I've got 11.5 million in the bank. And I think the final decision for me rested on the idea that, look, in 2 weeks, I could, if I want to, go something like Ademola Lookman to Bruno Fernandes and Ollie Watkins to Timo Werner. And I can do that for a -4 and power into 2 big players. I could also do, for example, Souček to maybe even back to Salah. I don't think that quite works. But I could go Souček to Bale if I wanted to. You'll notice Gareth Bale is not in my team. Someone will ask me about that at some point, I'm sure. I do think he'll start, but there's an element of risk to that. I would say, Benny, and this goes for a lot of people, when you've got a close call like that, because they both have difficult game week 30 fixtures, and I guess in your case, Benny, you might be thinking about a game week 31 wildcard. The price of the player, if that's what you're planning, is not important. I think if you're looking further afield, I would sell Gundogan rather than Salah. If you're looking to wildcard in game week 31, I think it's very dependent on your value and which player you're more likely to want to keep come that wildcard. Alex Austin says, hi James, good luck this week. Besides Rafinha, who is the best midfielder for game week 29 and 30? Thinking Lingard / Aubameyang. Is Bruno better with only one game? Question. Could do X to Bruno in 30 if needs be. Yeah, that's my thinking. I'd obviously go back to Bruno in game week 30 for just the one game week if that's what I decide I want to do next week. I've obviously got the power and the money to do that. I think Rafinha is the best choice. Honestly, if you want the second best choice, I'll tell you Jack Harrison of late. Fulham away, Sheffield United at home. There's every chance he won't get a return and still gets you 6 points. So Jack Harrison is the outsider one that's probably not being mentioned by many. Was back in the team last week. That would be my recommendation above a Lingard or an Aubameyang. The thing with Aubameyang is that Liverpool next week, I guess there's an element of risk in terms of whether he starts this week. He's a powerful player. Let's just say that he does start and Arsenal win 3-0 on Sunday. You're probably looking at Aubameyang getting you in a goal and assist or something like that. And it's the power of the player what appeals. Therefore, Alex, if you want the power, I would go Aubameyang over Lingard, but consider Jack Harrison as an alternative. Dan Stairs says, afternoon James, how long do you reckon Son will be out? Who do you think is best replacement for him playing in 29 and 30 for under 10.7 million? Nice result last night, by the way. Good one, wasn't it? I think Son will be back in game week 30 by all reports. For those who just joined the stream, I'll repeat what I said at the start. I think if Heung-min Son is 70% fit, I think he will start on Sunday for Tottenham. The manager is absolutely desperate, part because of that amazing result last night. I suspect he's probably not even 70% fit. Therefore, I don't expect him to start. But honestly, if Sonny's in that team on Sunday, you won't catch me being surprised. Best replacement for him playing in 29 and 30. This is going to be repetitive, guys, and there's going to be a lot of repetitive answers here. It's the Leeds guys. Rafinha, Harrison. Honestly, if that's all you're looking at, Dan, you're looking to wildcard in 31, Leeds. All right, you might not expect anything this week. They've got the best fixture in 30 as well. Joe Finley Bader, hello my friend. Help James start Gundogan or DCL. Who do you think is the highest ceiling, mate? Cheers. So as you'll see on the screen, I've gone with Gundogan, mate. You would expect City to win that cup tie at Goodison Park this weekend. So of my 4 subs, Calvert-Lewin, Diaz, Stones, Gundogan, I expect a little bit of rotation for Manchester City. I think Gundogan starts. I think he's the most likely to get an attacking return of the 4, and that's why Gundogan starts for me, mate. Sean says, afternoon James, is a 1-week punt wildcard in game week 31 and he'd be benched next week. Would you take a -4 for Dunk? No. And I can sum up a lot of -4s here. My intention going into this week was always to take a -4. I have not taken a -4, so I could replace Gundogan with a Harrison or anybody. I could go Stones, Diaz to Lewis Dunk, for example. Of course, I thought about that same move, for example. Don't think it's worth it. Particularly in the case of the Brighton players, I wouldn't be using them in game week 31 because they have Manchester United away. So I think -4s. This week's so difficult to call. Just honestly, look at the predictions I've got on the screen. What are we all hoping for? I'm projecting my points this week at probably around about 35, 36 points. And I'm factoring into that Kane scoring. So, I mean, you know, what are we really hoping for this week? Lewis Dunk, right? He's not going to score every single game week. You take a -4 for him. Bonus point against Newcastle. Possible because of passing, the amount of passes he'll have in the game. If he starts 7-pointer, you're 3 points up. That's if they get the clean sheet. Remember Palace at home, West Brom away. Is it worth it? Really, really, is it worth it? When even if Brighton are comfortable, Newcastle could throw Andy Carroll on at the end of the game and it causes some panic, as it did to Aston Villa last week. So, no. The majority of -4s you're going to ask me are going to be a no. I think Aubameyang, yes, if you have strong belief that he'll start. I think the West Ham guys, Antonio and Lingard, if you have strong belief that West Ham will beat Arsenal on Sunday. Other than that, and the Leeds guys, definitely the Leeds guys, I think, yeah, great, cool, go for it. Definitely Rafinha, even Dallas, even though he's defensive because of Sheffield United next week. and Bamford, yes, take a -4 for them. Rafinha, Bamford, Dallas, yes. Antonio, Lingard if you fancy it, or Aubameyang if you're confident he starts. Otherwise, you're not going to get a recommendation from me on a -4. And you'll notice I admitted Gareth Bale from that point. Honestly, same as last week, I would not be surprised if he doesn't start. He played 60 minutes last night on a wet, tough pitch. That's not me excusing Tottenham's performance in any way. I'm just telling you that it was a physical pitch to play on. It will not shock me if Bale is not in the team on Sunday, especially if Sonny happens to be fit as well. If Sonny's fit, I could believe that Bale would be a sub actually. So the majority of -4s, I'm going to say no. I don't see where they're worth it. Damon Wazowski says, hi James, why did you end Ask James stream? Thought I lost internet connection at that moment. So true story is genuinely, I promise, I did tweet this out. We covered it in our Patreon pod this afternoon as well. Suj phoned me. I had the phone in my hand and put it on speaker so that you, the viewers, could see it. And also I wanted it close to the mic so it could be picked up on the audio as well. Suj was telling me, he was talking to me on the phone and I dropped the phone. I have no fucking clue how, but when I dropped the phone, my laptop immediately went into shutdown mode and I couldn't recover the stream. That's the honest truth what happened. So no, sorry guys, it wasn't your internet connection, it was me. I've got the phone well away from it. I don't know which button that you would drop a phone on and it would immediately shut down the computer. I didn't even think that was possible, but that's what happened to me. FPL Invincible, afternoon James, Cancelo to Dunk or Cresswell? Question. I have only triple captain chip left. So you're thinking a little bit further ahead there, my friend. So I will tell you, Aaron Cresswell, highest scoring defender in the game, completely reasonable. Daniel McAdams, 2 free transfers. Bale, Grealish, Lingard, pick 2, please. I have no idea if Grealish starts or not. Therefore, by default, I think the 2 players I have to give you are Lingard and Bale. My instinct is that Grealish won't start for Villa, is my instinct. Dean Smith's comments today were that he's not been training with the rest of the players, but he's been running and is in no pain. I don't know what that means. He said it's up to Grealish whether he plays or not. Well, Grealish has presumably just got the 1 session tomorrow to try and integrate back in. He's 50-50, isn't he? Therefore, I think I have to say Bale and Lingard, Daniel. Jay says Lacazette versus Antonio. That's Antonio all day long for me. I think if Aubameyang starts, I don't see him on the left personally against Soufal. I think that probably would mean that Lacazette was a sub. So Antonio for me. Hola Stamos, hi James. Just want to say hello from Croatia. That was the biggest win in like 25 years for Croatian clubs, and I would like to congratulate the people of Croatia, and if there's any Dynamo Zagreb fans listening, thoroughly deserved. You get my full congratulations. Just understand that on the flip of that, Ola, it was Tottenham's worst result in double that. Probably 50 years, if not the worst result in our history. I would put it that high up. Alistair Coper, hi mate, trying to decide between Bale and Konsa versus Lingard and Cresswell for the next 2 weeks. Who would you go for? Thanks. I think I would probably go Bale and Konsa. Not a lot in that. I know Lingard's proven very, very popular, and I completely understand why. Getting 7.3 FPL points per match, which is unbeatable in FPL this season. Arsenal own Wolves away, doesn't smell like goals. I predicted 0-0 for West Ham this weekend. Could very conceivably be 0-0 at Wolves next week. But then the flip is potential clean sheets for Cresswell. If you need nailed players, Alistair, go with the 2 West Ham boys. If you want to have a bit more fun with it, go with Gareth, mate. FPL Dougal, Captain Trossard for the crack. I would say, Dougal, that Trossard was probably 12th on my captaincy list. I would have probably had Welbeck 11th, Trossard 12th, personally. But you will not be alone if you take that route, mate. And anybody who wants to go differential this week, absolutely fine. You just know what Kane's effective ownership. I think you need to have a clear belief. Do you really believe Harry Kane won't return? And for those who didn't watch the game last night, he said, Tottenham in crisis. Did you watch the game? Harry very easily could have scored twice. In fact, should have scored at least twice. Lamichi, hi James. Gundogan to Lingard or Trossard this week? Worth losing 0.4 value for the wildcard if I bring him back, and a second free transfer for a Chelsea player in 30. So I guess, Lamici, you're looking at wildcard of 31. That's all. I would prefer Trossard over Lingard, I think. Just about, personally. As long as you have decent cover for 31, because you're probably not going to want Trossard away to Manchester United, I don't think. It's worth remembering, I know Trossard's been popular in a lot of circles. He obviously scored last week. He's got 3 league goals this season, guys. What are we really expecting? I think the simplistic answer there is Lingard, mate. Tiffy Ferrero, why you don't have Arsenal players in your team? At least we won in Europa, man. To be honest, it's just a case. It's not a personal thing. I mean, I really wish I didn't really have any Spurs players. It hasn't been the right time to buy them. But I will promise you, Tiffy, that when I wildcard in for game week 31, there will be some Arsenal players. I promise you that. Ben M, hello, thanks for all the advice. Got me in the top 30k. Can you get me in it, mate? Son to Bale and Stones to Veltman for a -4. Give me 11 starting. Good decision. Sounds fine, mate. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I don't think that Brighton -4 is worth it. I also don't think Son to Bale is worth it, because as I've explained. So I'd be tempted to go Stones to Veltman for a free transfer and just look away, mate. Jonathan Son of Moses, how many games in the Premier League does Aubameyang start from here on? So what have they got left? 10 games? 8. Dependent though. I mean, if they get to the Europa League final, you might find that's more like 6 or 7. And to be fair, they've had a great draw as well, so they've got a great chance. Dragon, Joseph Foskey, hey James, who would you keep for the rest of the season between Cancelo and Stones? Feel like carrying both is too big a risk, so looking to get rid. One of my patrons, Lee Jackson, was asking me kind of similar question, although he was asking it specifically for game week 30 in terms of who's the better to keep. It's almost impossible to answer. It depends, I think, what you like in FPL management. Neither Cancelo or Stones are going to get rotated that much. They are both first choice for Manchester City. The league is probably still, I guess, 4 to 5 game weeks away from being won, depending on the results of Manchester United, particularly, I guess, in the next few weeks. Excuse me. So you've probably got till their semi-finals of the Champions League, should they progress, to not worry too much about the rotation. I mean, if you're asking who's going to get more rotated, Cancelo or Stones? Stones has proved a very valuable weapon from set pieces this season, as has Diaz, just Stones has got more goals. Cancelo, of course, is amazing to watch in your FPL team. So I think it comes down to, what do you want? What do you want? For me, I preferred a little bit more security of John Stones. However, I think if I could have gone back in time, I would have bought Cancelo. Probably when I had Stones first. When I bought Diaz, I think I would have bought Cancelo, actually, in hindsight. It's not an easy one to answer, Dragon, to be very honest. I would probably say been Cancelo. Yeah, exactly. I nearly said Stones. Just because there's more chance of coming off on like 55 minutes and stuff like that, or coming on for a one-pointer, whereas Stones probably either plays or doesn't play. As long as you've got your bench cover, it's easy to manage. Christopher Guinness says, James, hope all is well. Should I get rid of Stones or Cancelo for a Brighton defender? It's just covered. I could do it for a -4. I've decided not to. I mean, if you want to do it for a free transfer, I think it's absolutely reasonable. Dylan Farrell, hi James, best of luck this game week. Just dropping in to say congrats on the upcoming draft win. Cheers, mate. I've got 6 players, including some, but decided to get Wilson in for Wood instead of removing my more premiums. Yeah, the premiums got to stay in draft, mate, unfortunately. Dragon says, thoughts on bringing Smith Rowe over Lingard this week? Would be 5th midfielder in a 3-4-3 formation for the rest of the season. Would you prefer 3-5-2 instead? No chips left. Cheers. I don't really have preference to formations. Depends what you're floating with and what you want to do. Smith Rowe, is he a player you're comfortable leaving on the bench most weeks? If so, I don't mind it. How many goals has he scored in the league this season? None. So, I mean, it's 4.2 as a midfielder. I can't tell you he's a bad buy. He's not. So, it depends what you want to do with it. Do I have a preference for 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 now? Not a clue. I can answer that question in game week 31 for you. And I probably decide if Mattia Vidra is going to be in my wildcard or not. It's probably what it depends on. make sure that your bench players are players that are going to play. You are going to need it in this running. Rowan S says, evening James, no questions. Good luck for the international break. Hope you have a well-deserved rest. Cheers, mate. Matt Stewart, afternoon James. Sky question for you. I'm bringing in Rafinha for tonight. Would you take out Jorginho or Gundogan? Neither needed for captaincy. Thanks. Depends how many transfers you got left. I would rather remove Jorginho. However, if Jorginho is in that team against West Brom and it's still the 12:30 game in match week 30, then you're going to still want him about, I would suggest. So I'm going to say sell Gundogan, mate. Edwin Grand, Bale in for Salah or Son. Don't buy Bale for Son, my friend. Is my opinion. In for Salah, yeah, fine if that's what you want to do. Roseanne Fleur says Heung-min Son and Neto to Granit Xhaka and Giovanni Lo Celso. Roseanne, you are top of the pops for looking for the odd differential, aren't you? I actually think Lo Celso will start for Tottenham on Sunday. I think he's pivotal to Mourinho's thinking. He obviously got some good minutes on Thursday. He had to think that there's every chance he'll come in and play an hour on Sunday. Xhaka is obviously nobody's choice as an FPL asset. You'd be better off going with Smith Rowe. Lo Celso is also not an FPL asset. Daniel Lambert, hi James. Who do you prefer out of Dawson or Soufal? Well, I've got Soufal, so I'm going to say that, but there's not a lot in it. Dawson, you are heavily reliant on the attacking returns from set pieces, which is obviously more capable of getting than Soufal, but I think Soufal, I haven't looked into it into the numbers in detail, but I thought Soufal was probably a little bit better off for the bonus without them. Small preference for Soufal because that's the guy that I've got. But if you can pay the extra for Cresswell, just do that. Alistair Coper, do you think Vestergaard to Dawson pays off a -4 over the next 2 weeks? No. Vestergaard's got Burnley at home next. Not for me, my friend. Zaris, my friend, do you think Aubameyang will play? If he plays and scores, I owe you 3 Greeks of Lackey. I'd need more than that, mate. Greetings from Greece, my friend. And he says, good luck. The luck was hiding from me. Yes, I think he starts. I'd put Aubameyang starting at 75 to 80%, personally. Jamie Anthony, hi James. Cancelo to Tierney for a hit. Have 9 players and use my 1 FT. Not for me, even though I'm backing Arsenal for a clean sheet this weekend. Not for me. I don't think it's worth it, mate. It would be easy to say in hindsight if he gets a 12-pointer, it was worth it. But Jason Stilling, Cancelo and Gundogan to Duncan Lingard for a -4. Nah, don't love it, mate. Adash says, good evening, James. Start Martinez or Areola? Adash, you did not ask that question, my friend. You need to go back onto the Slack General Patreon channel and have a look at yourself. Captain Kane or Trossard, thanks and good luck. You piss taker. Bloomer Caldera, do you remember your first girlfriend? What will you do if accidentally met her on the first day the lockdown ends? Depends. Like, are we going back to like nursery? Because I remember the girl I used to hold hands with when I was in nursery, and I remember the girl that I used to play kiss chase with when I was about 6. I remember the girl I took home on the bus when I was like 10. I remember the girl I snogged under the stairs when I was 11. How far back are we going? The further up we go, the less I can answer and give you detail. How far back are we going? I'd be nice to all of them. They were all lovely, every single one of them. Mahesh says, hey James, Cancelo and Salah out, Cresswell and Aubameyang in. Sound good, or any other options you suggest taking a look at? Reasonable, in my opinion, Mahesh. Lalitri, hi James, Kane or Aubameyang for 1 free transfer. Well, I presume you're not selling the same person, so that's probably quite important. But I'm gonna say to you, Harry Kane, actually. Ricky Saunders, my Spurs brother, hope you're well. Hi James, looking to get one of Bale, Lucas, Trossard or Odegaard. Can't pick between them. Wildcard in 31. Fucking hell, Ricky. Go Gareth, mate. Finn122, Son and Richarlison to Bamford and Aubameyang. Yeah, if they're for free, don't mind that at all. Patrick Lawson, Morpay or Watkins on free hit. It'd be Watkins for me. Nasu said, interested that you went Kane top of the captain list. Score predictions for that Spurs game and how you see it going, mate. Yeah, it's effective ownership. I'm captaining Kane despite the fact I think we'll get beat. It's almost, for me, Look, I'm behind on players anyway. I can't even get to 11. I can get to 11 players, but I've decided not to. Not captaining Kane effectively puts me down another person, because it would be bad for my FPL team if he returns. I captain Harry Kane. At least every return I get from my team is positive now. It's as simple as that. And I don't doubt him. Genuinely, Nasu, I just do not doubt him. The ability for him to score in any game. So that's why. Let's be real about it. If I said to you every single team will score once this weekend, he's the most likely goal scorer. Pushcast said, "Hi James, been long that I've been in the stream. Welcome back. Thinking of setting Son for Aubameyang -4. Lingard and Cresswell coming for 2 free transfers. What do you think about that hit?" I think that's okay, mate. Alfredo Demetrius, should I do Grealish and Ings to Lacazette captain and John McGinn? That's going to get a firm no, my friend. Sammy B, hey James, hope you're doing well, mate. What are your thoughts on captain Dunk or Morpay? Not keen, mate. Super Tiger, hi James, buy Cresswell or Dunk? Have Veltman already? Cresswell. If I was free hitting this week, honestly, truthful, if I was free hitting, I'd go treble Brighton defensively. As he says, a 2-0 win versus Newcastle, but no Brighton in top 10 captains. If you had to pick one, who? Welbeck, then Trossard. The one and only Lee. Good luck, boss, man. Wagga dagga dagga dagga. Nice. Need to swap Johnson out for a goalkeeper for the next 2 weeks before wildcard 31. If you don't have free, Elan Meslier is the best solution for you, as in if you don't have free leads already. Failing that, Areola will do you the job. Sanchez, cheap, could get you a return this game week. So there's a few options for you. Martinez, obviously, if you haven't got. But if you haven't got free leads, I say Meslier would be my first choice there. Andres says, hi James, if you were buying one player only to play 29, would you pick Lingard, Trossard or Odegaard? I think I would go Lingard. Optimus Prime, hello and good boring game week. Only 4 games. Yologul says, on a free hit, Grealish in, Moura over Bale, no West Ham, no Leeds, Aubameyang captain. Any thoughts? Good luck for the game week. I think I've been given loads of thoughts, mate. I'm not quite sure what your question is. Christian Prefer, what is the worst triple captain returns you ever got? My friend this year, triple captain Van Dijk versus Aston Villa, got -6. Fucking hell, is this a record? No, because there'll be some bot who triple captained Bednarek when they had Manchester United away. What did he get? -7, wasn't it? So you would have got -21. I'm sure I saw a screenshot that someone tweeted of Jan Bednarek with a -21 triple captain. So no, but then yeah, that's a computer generated. The worst I've had was Mane last season, the 1-pointer. No. Shit fucking happens, right? Pishkar says, who should I play, Martinez or Areola? Is there a way to play 2 goalkeepers? There's not, Pushkar, but there's a nice way to get your question answered. It's on the Benching Dilemma screen, page 3. Tom Williams, my good man, Veltman in for Stones or Vardy to Bamford? I'd like the Vardy to Bamford move if you're wildcarding in 31. If you're not, and you've already used that second wildcard, I think I'd want to keep Jamie Vardy and just suck it up. I mean, Vardy does have an exceptional record against Manchester City, to be fair. So probably Stones to Veltman. Zayn Ali, is James' audio a bit tinny for anyone else? Apologies if he mentioned it already. I just joined. Don't know. I can't bother to go through the chat, but I'm not hearing of anyone complaining. One of my patrons will DM me. There you go. There's a deal. Patrons, if the audio's crap, DM me. You could always turn the volume up. Might be another idea. Eliezer says, hey James, what do you think? What Gibdogan, I presume it's Gundogan for Lingard, our wildcard in game week 31. Yeah, it's reasonable, mate. Javier Alcantara, Rodriguez and Mahrez to Martin Odegaard and Dele Alli. Don't expect Dele Alli to play on Sunday, mate. Forget Dele Alli and trying to be wild with differential picks. Forget that. Jose Vargas, what are the chances percentage that Dunk gets 4 points or more? The chances of that are around about 60%. There you go. Elron Cupboard, and I think that's actually a fair statistical percentage given to you as well, because I think Brighton are about 53% to keep a clean sheet. So Factor in it might concede. You've got the possibility of attacking return as well. I think about 60%. Elron Cupboard, do you think Arsenal and Spurs playing on Thursday will make much difference to their performances? We overhyped this bullshit. Remember when Arsenal had to play in Greece and then they came back, changed the whole team and battered Leicester? Sad. I'm fucking stressed about it. Arsenal were in Greece last week for the North London derby. Spurs were at home. This week Spurs have travelled. Oh, no, we're on a heavy pitch as well. And I'm downplaying the chances at the weekend. So Villa without Grealish at average. We could go there and win. If Grealish plays, I definitely think Villa win, and I think Villa win anyway. But we can go there and win, shit as we are. Nah, don't. It's been done to fucking death. Really, don't stress about it. Von Lampertime. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hi James. As always, thanks for the quality info. With your 2-0 score prediction, Brighton over Newcastle, is there a specific reason why you don't have someone like Dunk as a top 10 captaincy choice? Cheers. Yeah, to be honest, I think when you look at the other teams, so Tottenham, Kane, identifiable, Villa, Watkins or Grealish if he's available, Arsenal, Aubameyang, identifiable, Leeds, Rafinha, Bamford, even West Ham, Antonio, Lingard. I think there's identifiable players. I look at Brighton and I go, Welbeck or Maupay, we debated for 5 minutes on a Patreon podcast this afternoon in terms of who would be the better choice. And we probably decided for the week it was possibly just about Welbeck, but probably Maupay if you wanted a longer term selection. Trossard has 3 league goals this season. What do I want to back it for? Okay, Dunk, yeah. Dunk has got as good a chance for anybody as being the top scoring player this week. And it probably will end up being a defender in this particular game week. In fact, I'm fairly certain the top scoring player this week will probably be a defender. But good luck finding which one. It's just as much chance of it being Ben White as there is it being Lewis Dunk, to be honest. Callum Odombele, do Spurs regret selling Jan Vertonghen to Benfica? No, I did cover this on the Tottenham podcast about 2 months ago. Vertonghen, I don't know if people know this, but I'll do it very, very quickly because it's a light game week. Vertonghen was suffering with dizziness for around about 9 months after the head collision that he suffered against Ajax in the Champions League semi-final. And that's why he went from world class to fucking bad, like overnight. So do I think Tottenham regret selling him to Benfica? No, I don't think so. Look, he's playing left back for Benfica at the moment. Peak Jan Vertonghen would still be the best defender at Tottenham, but that injury fucked him, unfortunately. Loved Jan, super player. Patrick Lawson, best goalkeeper on a free hit. I would probably say Sanchez or Fabianski. Like Flappy. I think the reason I'd possibly edge Flappy over Sanchez, I'm obviously predicting clean sheets for both and also Leno this week. The reason I'd probably just edge Flappy is I think he'll get the save points and possible bonus to go with it. Whereas Sanchez is probably a 6-pointer. So it depends what you want. A little bit more risk in Fabianski, but possibly a little bit more reward. Robert Jones, hi James, hope all is okay. Who do you think to start for this week, Loris or Martinez? Go with Martinez, mate. Multi-Liveville, hi James, please help. My friend, I am not reading out your whole team. It's too much, my friend, but I do wish you the best of luck. Whatever the last option was. Sunshine says, who takes set pieces for Fulham? Good question. I would have thought it'd probably be Lookman. May well be on corners from what's available this weekend, I would have thought. If Anthony Robinson plays, you might get him on a few. Harrison Reed, possibly. Do not buy a Fulham player based on set pieces, but if that's going to influence your decision, go for Lookman. Kev KJ, hey James, start 1 on free hit. Reggie on Bamford, Antonio. Thanks, buddy. Be Bamford for me, mate. Roseanne says, why he's warned from coming to this live chat? Is he scared that his account is hacked? No, we had someone on my stream this morning who thought it was funny to come in and pretend to be such. That's it. Miles Impet, you clearly expect Grealish will play. If he doesn't, do you still think Watkins should be second in your captain list? Cheers from Canada. Yeah, listen, Ollie Watkins will get chances and he's playing against Tottenham. That's it. Forget who else is playing for Villa. I would put Grealish playing at 50-50. Antonino Gitto, what to do this week? A, roll transfer field 8. B, Son Gundogan to Lingard and field 9. Gundogan Lingard for a free transfer, fine. Wouldn't take a hit for it. FPL Hitman, hello boss, good luck everyone. Captain Cresswell right now, good luck mate. Maximiliano, Captain Who, Rafinha or Aubameyang for a differential. Well, they both are. I'm going to say Aubameyang. Bobby Love, evening James. First time I've managed to tune in live. Welcome. If you were able to pick one player from any of the potential relegated teams to improve a position at Spurs, who would you pick? Where can I start? To be honest, I was just literally thinking, which Fulham player do I want first? Probably Anderson at Fulham, I would say. Then Adarabioyo. Then Aina Ortetti. Then Harrison Reed. Then Lamina. Then Anguissa. Then Loftus-Cheek. Then Lookman. Yeah, probably that sort of order. Anderson from Fulham, I think, mate. FPL Hitman saying everyone like and that's well fucking sold, isn't it, James? Everyone like and subscribe. Support the lads. Cheers. FPL Hitman has also given a shout out to the Spanners. Thank you to the Spanners in this afternoon. We've got a new one in. Cole JB, welcome to the chat, my friend. Shout out as ever as well to my man FPL Captain on the graphics. Hero. Give him a follow. It's Captain with a K. Pete Haley, hi James, I need a defender, any price at least for the next 2 games. I have Dallas, Concert and White already, thanks for the pod. You need defender, any price for at least next 2 games. You have Dallas, Concert, White already. Luke Haley, mate, don't be scared to go double leads. Cole JB, would you really take Neil Warnock? Yes, I would take Neil Warnock over Mourinho. I would fucking take you, Cole. I would take you, Cole, and I'd take you out for dinner every night. Atul says, would love your predictions for the Champions League quarterfinals. I don't even know the draw. I don't give a fuck about Europe anymore. Raygoon, I'm joking. Great draw for Chelsea. They should go through. Got every chance to make it in the final. Liverpool got great chance against Madrid, to be honest. Could well be 3 English teams in the semi-finals. Easily could be 3 English teams in the semi-finals. But who did Bayern get? I forgot who Bayern had got. Why have I had a fucking mind blank? Who have Bayern got, James? Someone's going to put it in the chat. Please don't put it in the chat. I ain't going to read it for about 20 minutes. I can't remember who Bayern got, but they'll win anyway. The complete fucking meltdown of a mind blank. Arif Echo. Hello, James. Is it a bad move if I don't bring Brighton defender this game just because of Callum Wilson upside and record against them? Thank you. Arif, I don't have a Brighton defender, so is it a bad move for me? Kenny Watkins captain, a good idea. That would be my differential punt this week. James Trustwell, Dunk or Region. Just Dunk, mate. Don't fucking overthink that shit. Don't be buying Spurs players you don't need to buy. JK, 1 free transfer for Barnes of Rafinha in midfield. Only playing 1 free transfer. Good luck with yours, mate. Your 1 free transfer for Barnes. You have Rafinha in midfield only. Aubameyang if you can afford it. If not, Bale. If you can't afford that, Lingard is probably where you're at. Thank you, Mahesh. Oliver Renda. Hi, James. Hope you're well. He's a -4 where it needs to pay off this week. Only worth it for Bale. Love the work. Cheers, mate. It's not even worth it for Bale, mate. Sana, Lingard or Trossard. That's Lingard for me. Pontus Johansson. DCL to Bamford for a hit. Wildcard in 31. The Leeds guys, I think, yep. Just about worth it because of the Sheffield United fixture in game week 30 as well. We're about 20 minutes to the deadline, guys. Obviously, make sure your teams are locked in. I feel like I need to check mine today for a change, actually. Because before I press live, I didn't actually check it. And I do always do that before I press live. I'm sure it's fine. Russell Baker, Ramser says, hi James, Dyer for Tierney for a -4. Anyone in for Dyer, mate, for a -8 is good with me. Yeah, that's one where it's worth it. Dyer's not in the team at the moment, mate. Yeah, just spin him off. Although, to be honest, you could get if you've only got 9 players or something this week, there could be an early injury in the game and he comes on and gets you 2 points or something, and then he's probably not right with Tierney walking into Liverpool next week. So now, fuck it, it's not worth it. Free transfer, yeah. Russell Baker, evening James, Salah to Aubameyang and Gundogan to Lingard, wildcard in 31, 2 free transfers. Yeah, that's fine. Is Antonio over Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Wolves for a -4? Good for a 2-week punt. Too much question. No free hit left. 117 value, so money isn't a problem. That's fucking cracking, mate. I obviously have not made that move for a -4 and could have. So I do think it is borderline. I think free transfer. I had priorities elsewhere. Put it this way, I prioritised getting Dallas and Rafinha in first because Calvert-Lewin has Palace in game week 30. And the reality is, if Antonio doesn't return this weekend, you'll probably be regretting that you made that transfer. And therefore, I'm going to say to you, Russell, probably not, no. Estix has got 3 times Leeds and Villa plus Kane, Son, Veltman. Who else to look for on 2 free transfers? Wildcard 31. You've got treble Leeds, you've got treble Villa, you've got Kane, Son, you've got Brighton, you've got Veltman. How much do you need? You've got 9. What's the game you've got nothing from there then? So West Ham, Arsenal. Go 2 players from the West Ham Arsenal fixture from the same team. That would be my advice. My team this week is, oddly enough, exactly the same as it looks on the screen. El Poto, hey James, do you think 90% of managers will take a hit this week? No, I think most people like myself were intending to and have got closer and have just gone, this shit's not worth it. And the reason it's not worth it is because many of us are going to wildcard in game week 31 and many of the players that we would love to target got a shit game week 30 fixture. So Brighton, for example, fuck man. I need that return right now for it to be worth it. I'm not convinced. Not convinced. Srijif, Aubameyang won't play. Question, I don't know. I'm not Mikel Arteta, thankfully. I'd prefer him to Mourinho as well. William Simpson, Odegaard, Lingard or Trossard. I'm going to say Lingard, mate. Peter Peters, hi James. Cancelo to Dallas is locked. Would you still take hit? Salah out for Lingard or Bale? It's a no for me, mate. Curious Clive, which would you do, please? Wildcard in 31. A, Stones to Cresswell. B, Gundogan to Rafinha. I'd go Rafinha, mate. Jigs John, hi James, you predict 2-0 to Brighton, but who do you think is going to score for Brighton? Dunk header, in which case, worth a hit to bring him in. Goal scorers for Brighton, I'm going to go for Bissouma and White. Now what are you going to do? Vimpty Soccer, James was thinking wildcard, crazy. Do you mind if I drop the team here? Don't drop the team, mate, because I ain't going to fucking read it out. Don't wildcard, please don't wildcard. Nicola Torco, hi James, how are you? I'm good, thank you. What would you consider to be the best game week to use wildcard number 2 now, if not game week 30 or 31? I'll answer that first. I'm considering wildcard 33 as an alternative. That's quite dependent on what happens in the FA Cup games this weekend. It might create a scenario where I'm better off holding to game week 33. I will discuss the possibilities of alternatives for second wildcard on our main podcast on Monday. It's not something any of us need to worry about this second in time, I don't think, because the weekend information is quite important. But 33 is beginning to, like, it could be an alternative for some people, I think. You're also asking Nicola, Sanchez of Brighton or finally get Martinez a -4 and a -4 for Bamford advisable. So you're going short term, 30 and 31. I would probably still prefer Martinez over Sanchez. -4 for Bamford is okay, yes. FPL Hitman, if the stream gets 100 likes, James will call Mourinho those 3 special words. Alright. Gets 100 likes and I'll give Mourinho those 3 special words. Estix, Odegaard, Smith Rowe or Lingard, wildcard 31. How many times am I going to get this same question or very similar? Lingard. Sagnik says, do you think Aubameyang and Laka both start this week? No. Luis Rolanio, Son to Bale, -4 if wildcard 31. Don't like it. Pedro Rouse, hi James, any possibility Evan Villa will be in game week 30? Thanks. Possibility, yes. Percentage, about 2%. And it would need Everton's game on the Monday night to probably be moved back to the Saturday. And considering the Champions League draw today probably means there's other dates that need to be fucked about, I find that extremely unlikely. So I think I'm being generous when I say a 2% chance. Gareth Tagger, how many of the 8 games left for City do you think KDB and Gundogan will play? What, together or each? Do they not have more than 8 games left? I suppose they do only have 8 games left, don't they? Because they don't play in 33. Let's say De Bruyne 7, Gundogan 6. Jordan Vert, Cancelo to Cresswell -4. Question, will be 11 players including Son, but also have Soufal. Don't want to sell other bench players. Gundogan, Fernandes, Diaz. Then don't and just crack on. I wouldn't do the Hitman. G Squad from YT, Gross or Trossard? That would be a Trossard. FPL Hitman. Do me a favour if you get your question answered, like the stream. FPL Hitman's on a march for me today. Thank you, Ray Guna. Stian Bosdale, non-FPL. Tuchel comes in at the beginning of the season rather than middle of. Would Chelsea be better off now? Would Chelsea give City a better run? I have no idea. It certainly helped that Tuchel had really good fixtures when he started, whereas Lampard finished with really tough fixtures. So it's very difficult to say. The answer is probably, but I still think City would be pissing the league. FPL telling Josh, evening James, if you still haven't used your bench boost and planning on wildcard 31, when would be a good week to use that in your opinion? 35 is possibly going to show up as a possibility, but the issue with doing that is going to be that a lot of the players that you'll need as part of your bench booster, they're not going to play in game week 36, and that will fuck you up. So there isn't a good answer. The one we was advising people before game week 26. Cheers, Ray Gooner. Thanks for the message, mate. The one we was advising was wildcard bench boost game week 30 as the alternative. You carry through these players now. Fulham, Tottenham, Leeds, all good fixtures next game week. You've got your City, Liverpool, whatever players coming back into your team next week. There's a few people who, when the game reopens in a couple of hours, are going to go, shit, my bench looks quite strong again next week. So game week 30 for a lot of people is going to be the right choice. Billy Hadaway, evening James, hope you're well. Do you recall any worse results for us than last night? I haven't tried to think about it too deeply. I think I've been to games that have bothered me more, I would say. There's definitely games that we've lost and deserve to win that have upset me more than last night. But in terms of the performance and the result, that is definitely up there in one of the worst results in our whole history. I would put it right up there. Is it the worst ever? It's quite raw. Ask me in a month. Cal said, heard somebody ask the same question as me, so remove. Good luck, James. Thanks, Cal. Appreciate that. Rav Rattan, all right, bro. KDB for Aubameyang or Gundo to Jailings. I don't think it's cool to sell KDB at the moment. The cool kids will say don't sell KDB, I think. FPL Hitman, we need a Patreon pod on James' relationship history. We can do that probably in the summer. My wife needs to be out of the fucking house, though, I can tell you that. Jal Manuel, she probably just heard that. Callum Wilson in the next game week. Because he's got Tottenham. I mean, Callum Wilson's probably going to be 50-50 where he plays in the next game week. So, look, I'm not going to go advising that. Awab says, Bill or Lux Moura exit Son. I don't know who Bill is. Is it meant to be Bale? Lux Moura, terrific. Yeah, he works hard. I think Moura probably plays on the left. He's been more frontage centrally lately. That's because I think Lo Celso will play. Joey B93G, evening, Aubameyang or Bale for 1 week punt? It would be Aubameyang for me. Albas89, James, which two would you start out? Cresswell, Tierney, Dallas and Region? They've probably all got to be on the screen. No, they're probably not, in fairness. Dallas is a definite, and I think Cresswell. Dallas and Cresswell for me. Pontus Johansson, what question is he on? Trying to see if my question will get answered. This one, Pontus. 10 minutes to deadline, guys. Make sure you're locked in. If you're asking questions at this stage, I've probably got no chance of getting to you, but I'll do my best. Albas89, also, would you go with 4 at the back with triple Brighton defence or 5 in the middle with Trossard? If I was free hitting this week, I would go treble Brighton defence or Veltman White dunk, and I would add Stuart Dallas and go with a back 4. Sage says, Instagram, WhatsApp down worldwide. Thank God YouTube's not. Ollie Sad, Sky FF question, would you go from dunk to a West Ham player after tomorrow? I'm not intending to answer that, Ollie. Not intending to at all. But I may have a second look at it. If I did, it would probably be Antonio. Steve C, hey James, Bale or Lingard? Gareth, regrettably. FPL finding glory, just sold Cancelo and Gundogan, and now I own no City players, none, 0. Don't know if I'm free or frozen in fear of future game weeks. Good luck, James. You're probably fucked, mate. Notorious Nerd, who has benching dilemmas this game week? I know, but shit happens. It would have been too much hassle to change the graphic, right? Cole JB, Raf Dubravka, Kane, enough for this weekend in Sky. 9 transfers left. I think it is, Cole. Yeah, Stian Bosdale, get to 100 likes, people. The 3 words are useless fucking wanker. They're not the 3 words, mate. Giacomo says, all right, mate. Opal as well. Martinez or Loris this week. Martinez, mate. Ishmael Patel, Bamford or Lacazette on a free hit. Be Bamford for me. Eshan Cresswell or Dallas for Stones. Depends on your strategy. If you're short-term, Dallas. If you're long-term, Cresswell. Feeling Ness, hi James, Bale or Moura or Lingard. Regrettably, Bale. Auto Recluse, is it Tom Kearney on set pieces? Well, Tom Kearney won't play, mate. He's been injured for about 4 months. Still wouldn't go any near any Fulham player apart from Lookman, says Auto Recluse. Dan put a foot. Son to Lingard from -4. Bank on Son starting. Bank on him starting, but he probably won't. Alan Holohan, evening James. I know you're down on Spurs right now, but would you bring in Trossard or Bale this week? Guessing Trossard, judging on those predictions. No, I would go Bale. I would go Bale, but only for free. Abdurrahman Trossard in, Gundogan out -4. Not big. Cole JB says sold, laughing. Karan says Madja or Trossard. Madja for me. PSG. PSG, Bayern Munich, of course, repeat the final. That's why I'm so blank. Yeah, I still think Bayern will win, by the way. Bad draw for Poch, wasn't it? I wish him well. For Poch, I hope they fucking win it. I'd love it for him. Hashtag Areola or Martinez to start. I would go Martinez, I think, is what I put on the benching dilemma, page 3. Caleb Rufus, should I sell DCL for Antonio? You can if it's for free, but as explained previously, you might regret it after the weekend. Alejandro Perez, hey James, when's the best time to use my bench boost? Well, that's kind of dependent on who's in your bloody squad, isn't it, mate? Good luck with that. Mixers El Ghazi for a -4. Well, we won't start if Grealish is fit. Thank you, Esham, for acknowledging. DJ Man Dumb, Cancelo to Dallas and DCL to Antonio. Done for free, gives me 9+ Son. New to the channel, but loving your work. Thank you, mate. Good luck this weekend. Alejandro Perez, is it crazy to captain Lingard? Everything but Kane is crazy. He's crazy. If you don't captain Kane, you're all nuts. Listen, crazy, nuts don't exist in this system. Neither does the word essential. You want to do something, you crack on, do it. Lingard's on the top 10. If you think he's the best choice, go for it. Arif says, apologies, James. I thought Wilson is fit enough to play, but thank you for the tip. No probs. He's been back running this week, but he's got next to no chance being available this weekend, is my understanding. Peter G, Sky question, Patricio to Meslier or Vestergaard to Dallas Rafinha? Peter, have you just bought Patricio? Therefore, don't be making that move. Vestergaard to Dallas Rafinha. I don't like either of them. I really think Southampton assets in Sky are worth holding the next few weeks. I really, really do. So I think keep Vestergaard. Shouldn't be selling Patricio either, really. I would look, Pete, I would look at an alternative that maybe involves a Fulham player. Just have a look at that. Just have a look at an alternative of Anderson and Adarabioyo rather than a Dallas Rafinha and some longer term plan. Just consider it. You might find it's easier to move further down the line. John Hilton, do you expect Reguilon to start this weekend? Yes, I'd put that about 85%. Sadie Qatar, for a free hit team, should I start Trossard or Bamford given his injury? Bamford all day, mate. Think of it like this. Bamford will either start or he won't. Rabin says, so it's Basuma I want. Yeah, crack on, buy Basuma. Alan Holohan, Salah to Aubameyang or Cancelo to Dunk. It'd be a free transfer. Value, not an issue. Get all Blanca Yang in, mate. Gareth Target, how many of the 8 games left for City do you think KDB and Gundogan will play? I've definitely already asked that, Gareth. Jitesh B, Reguilon or Cresswell? Cresswell. Regressive, good evening. Replacements for Saka. Rafinha, if you haven't got. Trossard, similar value. Lingard, if you can get up. Probably all in around that. Consider Jack Harrison, as I said towards the start of the stream, as an alternative. 5 minutes to deadline, guys, and I've caught up with the questions, so fire, go for it. Atul says, what do you call a big house that has 100 Mourinhos? A house with a big motherfucking ego, mate. Atul says, Aston Villa, please don't block me. Oh, Aston Villa. The guys who are familiar with me from the chat man streams know that I always used to say, oh, they've got some comedians in tonight. Mate, don't give up the day job. Auto Recluse says, Gaffer captains this week. Shit. Who have I done? I don't need to do it till tomorrow anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm on Tony again with Pookie Vice. I'm pretty sure. But I will check that. Jitesh B, Salah to Bale for -4. I don't think it's worth it. -4s at this stage, guys. We'll repeat the players that I said. Bamford, Rafinha, Leeds defensive. If you are wildcard in game week 31, I think yes, -4. If you have faith in some of the real attacking talent from West Ham and Arsenal, go for it. Lingard, Antonio, Aubameyang. If you've got real confidence in them, go for it. Obviously, if you don't have Harry Kane, you want to take a -4 and captain him, of course. Be my guest. Otherwise, I don't think that they're worth it. Eshan, do you think Bamford will start for the 28th time? Yes, mate. Stian Bosdale, 2 more likes, people. Cheers, mate. Matthew Hall, could you change your vice captain still in COVID times, both in the same game? Do you know what? I will. I will generally do that. You're quite right. I don't know if you people can see this, but I've gone Rafinha vice captain. Generally, I've just changed to Rafinha vice captain. That's the first time I ever changed anything on a stream. But yeah, you're quite right. Hey, God, I can see it fucking playing back to me now. Nicola Turco, Martinez and Lingard from -4 is probably going to be it. Matt Hall, cheers for that, Matt. Cole JB, you guys exit Swansea defenders and Gaffer yet? Yeah, I sold one of the pricks, Bidwell or Roberts, whichever one ain't been playing. Gaze on the next one to go as well. The other one's staying. Peter G, cheers for answering previous curious. Patricia, almost certain to play next game. Look, he had a concussion. There's every chance he'll play for Portugal in the national break. He has been called up by then, so should be okay in my opinion. TJ Dara, hey James, thoughts on Dean to Rudiger game week 30, or should I go another Chelsea defender? Thoughts on Dean to Rudiger game week 30, should I go another Chelsea defender? Let's cross that bridge next week, mate. Don't be making early transfers when it's international break, my friend. But yes, Rudiger would be my favourite choice. Ian Parrin, my friend. Evening, James. Hope all is well. What's your next plan? Sky transfer? Fuck. I don't know, but I'll tell you after 6:30, Ian. I have to look at the planner. I can't remember. Blue Macaldera, do you also play EFL Championship FPL? What price is Timo Pukki there? Yes, I am paying it. I want to say 10.3 or something like that. But don't worry, it won't be that in FPL next week. Cesar says Son or Aubameyang. I'll make it 2 minutes to deadline, guys. Aubameyang. Rowan S, 102 likes, James. Okay, fair enough. The 3 words for Jose Mourinho are the outdated one. Fuck off, prick. Ray Gooner, James doing an Andy, scenes. Not quite. Don't compare me with the Don, boy. Auto Recluse, put the vice captain on Dallas for a laugh. It doesn't fucking matter, does it? Who I put the vice captaincy on, let's be honest. Although the reason to do it is not, you really shouldn't generally, is true what Matt said. Don't captain and vice captain the player in the same game, just in case. Grealish, for example, he could start training with the rest of the squad tomorrow, couldn't he? And he might have been out banging girls all over the fucking shop the last 3 weeks. So he might bring them all COVID and the game might be off. So it's right to change the captaincy. Let's be honest, I ain't got a lot of fucking alternatives, alright? So Rafinha can have it. And Inda Daz, hi James, should I get Bale for a hit? No. Chitesh B, will Bale start? 80% yes. Auto Recluse, I think you said Chelsea transfer next in Sky. Yes, that's probably true, Darren. Thank you very much. Alex Austin, good luck. Oh, Eshen says Gundogan to Trossard or save it. Save free transfer. If it's free, do it. Live a little. The Kenneth says Ulbus starts. Don't know. Don't pick the team. 80% yes. Alfredo, your thoughts on Kai Havertz FPL asset from next week? Not for me. Not for me. Monday's podcast I'd recommend for a discussion about Chelsea's attacking talent. Darshiel, how certain is Son out? I'd say he's about 80% out. Joe Philly Badder, the urge to hit is real, but managing to hold off, keep me distracted for 2 minutes before I do it. I don't think I need to keep you distracted for that long, do I, my friend? How long to deadline? I make it gone. I make it deadline, guys, personally, on my clock. Greg Simpson took a -8 for Brighton. Now I'm shitting myself. Good luck, mate. Aditya, do you think KDB starts against Leicester? Could get Aubameyang in for him? I don't really see why he wouldn't. Depends on his minutes for Belgium, I guess. Christian says, would you call Jose Mourinho to have dinner with you at your place? No, I wouldn't, mate, because bad shit will happen. I'll be in jail. FPL Hitman, Mourinho is more outdated than VHS at this point. Cheers, mate. Not VHS, mate. He's more outdated than fucking Betamax. TJ Dara, non-FPL question. Not should I order for dinner? Or what should I order for dinner? Have a Chinese, mate. Thanks, Matt Hall. Good luck to you, buddy. Joe Finney Badder saying still 1 minute to deadline. Okay, still 1 minute to deadline, apparently. It's well gone on my clock, actually. But if you're saying 1 minute, 1 minute. Now is a good time, though, guys, if you want to throw in questions that are non-FPL related. I'm happy to hang around for 10 to 15 minutes or so and answer them for you. But as far as I'm concerned, the FPL deadline is gone. We need some sort of noise thing for FPL captains to produce, I think. So, yeah. If you've got any non-FPL questions, throw them away. Javier Alcantara, why is Steve-O copying your style of quiz on stream? One, I said he could. So that's a good reason. Steve-O's a patron, so he can do what he likes. He's a big fan of the quizzes that we do, so if he wants to do something with it, I have no problem with him doing that. Alex Austin saying 10 seconds. She should be so lucky. TJ Dara, fantastic shout. Too bad I can't type properly. Can't remember what that was in. Eshen, deadline's gone, mate. Joe Philly Batter, more Killer Snail talk, please. Oh, okay. So, so those who listen to Monday's podcast titled Killer Snails, which I'd probably recommend having a listen back just to the end. Joe asked, I think, the best question we've ever had, possibly. What you can take £10 million, but you have an invincible killer snail that follows you around for life, and its purpose is to kill you, and if it touches you, you're dead. Do you take the £10 million, or do you live with the snail trying to catch you for the rest of your life and kill you? So I said that I would. Such was like, no, fuck it, I ain't taking the money. I was like, yeah, I'll take the money and I'll just leave it in a far away place and live with it. But I've seen some good answers about living on mountains of salt and stuff like that. But I'm guessing if it's invincible, literally nothing matters to this fucking snail. So unfortunately, Joe, I think I've been beaten unless I can go to the moon. I think, or send the snail to the moon. That's got to be a better bet, isn't it? Lure the snail into a launch to the moon. That's about my best bet, isn't it? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to say, nah, keep the money, mate. I can't let her after the little one by myself, can I? Otherwise, I'd say, if I didn't have her and the kid, I'd say, yeah, fuck it, I'll take the money. Bollocks. I'd have some good fun for a couple of weeks. Super Tiger, have you considered your dislike of Jose and the style of play has led to you discounting Kane's very poor misses in the game from blame for the loss? Oh no, listen, Kane should have scored last night. The first one, meh. It doesn't help that Lucas plays the ball to his feet rather than in front of him. The second one, the one right at the end, absolutely should score. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, he should score. But then it's like, it's the 118th minute of the game. Is he knackered? I don't know. Listen, he should score. Doesn't matter if he's Kane or he's Bergwijn or whomever, he should score. I'm not going to defend that. But are we saying that if Kane had scored, then fucking great, Mourinho's okay? Listen, Mourinho would have got both barrels from me today, whatever the score was, with the performance last night. It could have been forgiven from the fact that the job was done. There's no excuse to losing to that team last night. I'm sorry. Not even Premier League standard. I'm honest. I said on the Patreon podcast before I knew the draw earlier, I said, whoever plays them, debate them. Villarreal piss all over them. It won't be a problem. Fuck me if Arsenal play them in the semi-final. It won't be a problem, mate. They played the game of their lives last night, and congratulations to them. They're not good, though. It says a lot for Mourinho, doesn't it? That the manager's been done for fraud, the Dynamo Zagreb manager. He out-coached Mourinho from fucking jail. So if that guy's been done for fraud, what's going on with the fraud at my place? He's got to go. It's just a matter of time, whether it's this week, the summer, autumn, Christmas, next spring, next summer. It doesn't matter. His sacking is an inevitability. All that matters right now is cost. If it didn't cost so much to sack, he would be gone next week. I'm still hopeful that he'll be gone next week, but I'm not expecting it. I'm sure he will get it to at least the summer. He'll get the cup final. On that, there's only one game left for Tottenham this season. It's that final. The rest of the games are irrelevant. It don't matter. It don't matter. We ain't qualifying for Europe in the league. We ain't getting relegated. The games are irrelevant. Honestly, they're irrelevant. The only game that matters is the cup final against Man City. And we could get battered. Ray Guna says, nice work, James. Love the Patreon vid reacting to the England squad. How comes you don't fancy Trent at wing back? It's a good question. I think it's just a natural thing that when he plays behind Salah, obviously Salah wants to go in field. When you play at wing back, that in front of you, the space is yours. You have to control that. So people see you coming. That's part of the problem. So he's going directly into opposition ordinarily with a fullback. If fullback goes with Salah, there are possibilities that can open up. Is the wide player going to track Trent from deeper in? I don't like him at wing back, and I think it's a clear indication from Southgate that he wants to play wing backs. Would I still have him in the squad over Kieran Trippier, for example? Yes. Would I still have him in over Kyle Walker? Not necessarily, because Cole's benefit, obviously, if he's going to stick with a back three, Cole can play right-sided centre-back or right wing-back. So, I mean, that kind of doubles up, doesn't it? It covers two positions. Although you could make a case that Trent could cover in midfield, possibly, if the worst case happened as well. That's the reasoning. It's not he can't play there. I just think, like, for me, if we're playing four at the back, Trent plays. He'd be in my first 11, I think. If we're playing wing-backs, it's Reece James for me. I do think there is a strong difference between the two positions. Alex Austin, good question though. Alex Austin, sorry if asked already asked, who would be your ideal Mourinho replacement in the summer? Anyone, mate. I'm not. I think Nagelsmann is probably the dream one, because he'll come in. He's young. He understands the modern game. He's going to play a system that might work for Tottenham, which is probably going to be wing backs, to be honest. I don't think it's an overnight fix, though. I think the better long-term appointment for Tottenham might be Brendan Rodgers. So either of those two. I'm not sure that even someone like Allegri can fix what's happening. I think it needs proper coach. Proper coach is what this needs. So I think Nagelsmann or Rodgers. And where would Rodgers go from Leicester to Tottenham? Jose Mourinho's on £15 million a year. If Brendan Rodgers gets offered the same, we ain't going to fucking turn it down. Bossman525, what sort of music are you into? I don't get to listen to much fucking music these days, unfortunately. But I was late 90s, early noughties, but rock, indie, American new metal, depending on my mood. Branislav Todorovic, hi James, what do you think of Champions League draw? I think it's great for the English teams. Stian Bosdale, did you find a book to kill that snail with yet? Invincible. No, apparently Yellow Pages not allowed, so I can't. Matthew Hall, who would you prefer to win Champions League out of the three British teams remaining? City. Someone different. Neil says, any transferring for Spurs from any team, including international, who is out, who comes in? So I can buy Mbappe or Haaland, can I? One of them two, mate. Or recluse, can you trap the snail, Joe? No, you can't. Snail. I asked that, can you trap it in a glass jar? No, apparently not. It's invincible, so it just fucking make its way through the glass, mate. Alex Austin, how about you pay $1 million to join the Mars space colony? Killer Snail ain't going to make it to Mars. I want to go back to Tottenham once that prick's gone. Rowan S says, James, what has been your overall opinion on Wan-Bissaka? Still not sure of his attacking potential. Brilliant defensive fullback. Absolutely brilliant. Best in the league at one-on-one duels. It feels with him, the more difficult the opponent, the better he plays. Like he always plays well against Sterling, for example. I don't really think he's had a bad game against Son. I know Son scored at Old Trafford early in the season. I'm trying to think of the top. Wan-Bissaka did play. But then Son's two goals both came from positions where he wasn't like he was taking him on down the touchline. There was certainly some responsibility on Son's first goal from Wan-Bissaka, if I remember correctly. But Son's goal came from central areas. Brilliant one-on-one defensively. I think, again, were we to go with back four in the Euros, I'd probably want him to be a part of it. Wing back, the system Southgate's going to play, I think there's better choices, personally. What I would say, though, is I think I would like to see him tried at right-sided centre-back in that system. I would have liked to have seen that. Greg Simpson, just buy sensors around the room you sleep in. If it comes in, it wakes you up. You ain't seen me sleep when I'm pissed, mate. Callum says, as a retired bookie, easy. Can you say to me which team results to bet on for 4 Premier League matches? Yeah, there's 4 predictions on the screen there, my friend. Alex Austin saying you can't trap the snail. Cesar says, I went with Triple Brighton. I hope it works. Good luck. Defence, obviously. Yeah, Attel says, if you had to support Mourinho in a debate, what would you say? I'll do the old Piers Morgan, just walk off, mate. Auto recluse, but then you'll sit there wondering if it can get back from Moon. I'd never be able to relax. Yeah, it's part of the problem with it. Super Tiger, what's your take on Levy? Good question. That he's fucked it. He's fucked it. I don't blame him for appointing Mourinho. It's someone that he personally wanted 10 years ago. And I think there's been so much external pressure from Tottenham fans, need a trophy, need a trophy, need a trophy, that he went for the guy who we know in the first couple of years of management, to be fair, he's one of the most likely to deliver a trophy for you. And I hope that on April the 25th next month, I hope that I'm at Wembley and he walks past me and sticks his middle finger up at me, holding the trophy. Nothing would make me happier. And I'll sit there and go, fuck me, and clap him. I'll clap the prick. I'll clap the prick. Then I'll come on the podcast the next day and say, still sack him, please. Where Levy's fucked up is the length of the contract. The other fuck up was, which is a lot of Tottenham fans feel, but I'm less convinced about, is that he didn't back Pochettino in the market. I think Pochettino refused a lot of signings in a lot of cases. Pochettino spoke, however, about the fact that there would need to be a deep overhaul of the squad. He said that after the Champions League final in 2019, but then wasn't given the chance to do that overhaul. Now someone else is doing it. Mourinho spent as much money in 1 year at Tottenham as Pochettino did in 5. That's the reality. But I do also think that Pochettino turned down a lot of signings because I think he was so adamant on the right personality, the right fit. I think he turned down a lot of players. I really, really do. So I think there's a lot of people at fault for what happened at the moment. Daniel Levy is definitely at fault. It's not just a Mourinho thing. This guy appointed him, right? And bar Harry Redknapp was the right appointment at the right time. He fell into Martin Jol. And obviously Pochettino was the right appointment. Other than them, the other appointments have been bad. And he has to take responsibility for that. The flip of that is, and I know a lot of people go, oh, you won 1 trophy in 20 years. But if you look at what the football club is now compared to what it was 20 years ago, the stride we've made is incredible. To tell any Tottenham fan 20 years ago that they would have got to see their team in the Champions League final, people would not have believed you. People would have said the only way that would happen is to have an Abramovich or a Sheikh Mansour. The only way. And going back 20 years ago, by the way, when Levy came in the door, there were no Abramovich or Sheikh Mansours. There were Jack Walkers at Blackburn. That was like as good as it was. So that stadium is the legacy. The training ground is incredible. There was so much good that's been done in Daniel Levy's tenure. For Tottenham to hit the top level, it probably does need new ownership. But then the value of the football club, people laugh at this, but the value of the football club is 2 billion. What kind of guy, even a fucking rich Saudi or whomever, is going to pay 2 billion just to buy the club? Once you've paid the 2 billion to buy the club, which is the value if you add in the asset of the stadium, etc., then buying players, what does it matter? Oh yeah, I've spent 2 billion on the football club. Oh, and because of FFP, I'm restricted to 120 million on transfers or something. Come on. It's easy to say they need to go. Who do you expect? That's the one. Everyone goes, Enick out, Levy out. But who suggests someone to buy the football club? Go and find that person. Go and find that person who's got the £2 billion and say, go and buy the football club. It's not that easy, is it? I'm glad I got asked that. FPL Hitman, Spurs win the League Cup, a big if. What do you think happens? He stays, goes. I hope he wins it. As I said, I hope he gives me the middle finger holding the trophy. I hope I get to go. I hope that we shithouse our way to the trophy so people just shut up about the trophy thing. I don't care how crap we are that day, just win the game. But it makes no difference. I saw a lot of people saying that last night, yeah, but if he wins the League Cup, he's done what he come in for. So one day Ramos won a League Cup at Tottenham. George Graham won a League Cup at Tottenham. Didn't do nothing for them. It won't do nothing for Mourinho. Stian Bosdell had a read on abuse in youth teams in the UK and the mental impact on kids. You decide if you want to go down the rabbit hole and do a pod on it. Fuck me, right? That's the last question. For those in the UK, there's a documentary on BBC starting Monday, 3 nights, called football's dark secret. And I feel like I've frozen on my stream for some reason. Sorry if I have. Football's dark secret. I recommend that everybody watches it. Someone tell me if the stream's paused, because I seem to have paused on my end. Am I here? Someone just give me a thumbs up. Alex Austin, rest in peace, camera. It's gone. Well, at least I made it to the end of the stream this time. If you can hear me, guys, video's frozen. Can you hear me? We can hear me. All right, cool. That's fine. Fuck it. I can't. Let's pull the webcam in and out. It might work, but I don't think it will. I don't know what's happened there. The webcam just died, maybe. Right, so you can still hear me. I'll answer that. Yes, there's a documentary on BBC Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday called Football's Dark Secret. It's about exploitation of young footballers in football. It's not painted any other way. It's about these children were sexually abused. I spoke to some of my advanced tiers about maybe doing a podcast on it, and we'll do some of the tough talking podcasts like Football Index, Racism in Football, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if I can do this one. I'm not throwing my phone, Alex Austin. Thanks for the question, Stian. Obviously, we've lost picture, so I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks as ever, guys. If you want to support the podcast and the content, hopefully with visual to go with the audio, fuck knows what's going on today. You can obviously support the content on Patreon. Do it because you want to support the content that we do, not because you want to become a better FPL manager. And now, relax, guys. Yes, Cole JB says it's the killer snail. The snail's in the room. I'm about to die. That's it. I'll leave you to it. Look, it's 2 weeks till game week 30. Relax. Don't be making early transfers, international break and all that shit. Yada, 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 yada. Have a great couple of weeks. We'll have full content next week. Main podcast will be Monday. We'll talk about the weekend's football and then the rest of the content from there. But your next game week deadline stream will be, I think, 11 a.m. on a Saturday 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning in 2 weeks. So for many of you I won't speak to until then. Good luck for the game week, everyone. Ciao for now.